First, I want to start by saying that I am so thankful and happy to be here today. I have been so excited to come back to the reopening of the gym and speak to you guys about what Starlight means to me. For 10 years of my life, this building has not just been a building full of equipment. It has been my life, my family, and my team. It has also not just been a sport that my parents put me in or forced me to do. It has been something that I truly love and enjoy doing. If it were not for my coaches' influences and my friends' continuous motivation to work harder, I can truly say I don't think I would be where I was today. Gymnastics took a lot of hard work and dedication, but it also molded and made me the woman that I am. It taught me how to be a responsible adult, and it made me strive to be dedicated to myself and my teammates, because no matter what, my team was always depending on me. Gymnastics was not just a one-person sport, so it also taught me how to truly be a team player, because it taught me how to be proud of my teammates and other gymnasts when they did do better or when they did score higher than me at competitions. I learned motivation by going to practice even when I had no desire to be there. I have so many memories of each event, and for those of you who do not know the events, there are 4: bars, beam, floor, and vault. Bars was not just 2 uneven parallel bars. It was pull-ups and leg lifts. It was rips on top of rips on my hands. And no matter how many boys thought they could do more pull-ups than me on the monkey bars at school, they never could. The bars made me tough. It made my hands rougher than 9 of the 10 boys in my class. And 7 years later, my hands are still rougher than at least 5 of those. The calluses remain on my hands, and every time I look at them, I cannot help but think or even imagine what it would be like to swing on those bars one more time. And the funny thing is, bars was my least favorite event. Beam. You want to talk about pain? Imagine a 16.5-foot long beam that is 4 inches wide and a little over 4 feet off the ground. As you're walking, you start to slip. Or even as you're cutting a flip, you begin to fall and you split the beam. That is quite possibly one of the worst feelings you will ever feel. But what's actually worse is doing it multiple times as you try mastering a skill. The thing about beam is balance. If you have balance, you're fine. And that's one thing I never really realized that it teaches you about life. How to balance the obstacles in your life, no matter how many times you fall. You are going to get back up, and you are going to keep moving forward. Everyone wants to know how to cut a flip, and floor is where it's at. The floor is where all the learning begins. You can't cut a flip on the floor, you can't cut a flip on the beam unless you know how to cut it on the floor. Although you may not be 4 feet off the ground, if you fall, you're still going to bust your bottom, and it's still going to hurt, believe me. As Haley in the movie Stick It says, in floor. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to prance around in a leotard doing dorky choreography? She was definitely being sarcastic when she said this, but the floor is when you do get to be yourself, and when you do get to have fun and do a floor routine that was choreographed solely for you. This is when you get to learn about yourself and what you truly like, because everything that goes into your floor routine, whether it be the song chosen, the moves made, or even the flips, they are all chosen by you, and they are not what someone else wants. And lastly, my most favorite event, vault. Once again, I quote the movie Stick It, and the reason why is Haley couldn't have said it better. If you like running full speed towards a stationary object, vault is for you. Vault teaches you how to run, and the faster you run, the more power you can get from the springboard and everything after that. Meaning all the flips or just the landings that are made. There is something about the speed and the power you give, and once you stick the landing, that is indescribable. I can remember cheesing as hard as I could and running back towards my teammates and my coaches when I knew I had a perfect landing. And honestly, I still dream about it to this day. Do you see what I mean when I say gymnastics was not just a sport? This is something I absolutely love doing. It taught me how to have dedication, not just in gymnastics, but in life in general. It also taught me that no matter how many times I fall or I failed, whether it be in gymnastics or in life, that I could always get back up and strive for perfection. I truly hope that each of the boys and girls who come into this gym will get the same experience and compassion that I have and did have. Gymnastics teaches you more than just how to cut flips. It teaches you to be tough, responsible, to be dedicated, and to be a real team player. Gymnastics is not just a sport, it is a way of life.